My mission is to testify of Jesus Christ. I know that he lives.
From the time he was a young boy, Joseph Smith sought to know the mind and will of the Lord and what religion he might join, that he might further grow in his relationship to God. He went to a grove not far from his family farm and offered up a prayer, perhaps a prayer offered by millions before him, on how he might worship. In a great theophany, he saw God the Father and Jesus Christ and was instructed to join no church, that there was a work for him to do. In time, he was called to recover plates, record of a fallen people on the American continent, of their faith and of their worship of Christ and his visit to them here in the Americas. Joseph would also be called to receive the keys of the kingdom, the priesthood, that the kingdom might be built and the gospel might roll forth in power and authority. John the Baptist and later Peter, James, and John came and laid their hands on his and Oliver Cowdery's head and restored those gospel keys of priesthood power. As the gospel was preached, more people received the priesthood and the church grew, eventually culminating in the building of a temple, whereby the Lord deigned to give his people light and knowledge and endow them with power. More keys were given, more authority given, but this came at a price. The prophet was chased from home to home, libeled, mocked, and slandered, beaten, tarred and feathered. His family threatened at every instance, all because of his testimony of what he'd seen and what he was restoring. Soon the mobs would not settle just for Joseph to be relocated, but they would seek for all the saints and for their religion to be put down. They were harassed and forcefully relocated from state to state in a land where their right of conscience and liberty of religious freedom should have been guaranteed. Soon the mobs decided that this was yet not enough, that Joseph's life must be forfeit, that thereby this religion would come to an end. For without a leader such as Joseph, surely the saints could not go on. Trumped up charges were filed. Joseph and his brother Hiram were arrested, and they were taken to Carthage jail in Carthage, Illinois, awaiting a trial that would never happen. Heartbroken Joseph said goodbye to his saints, and at the jail wrote that his conscience was clear of wrongdoing to any man, that he was going as a lamb to the slaughter. Joseph was about to fulfill his mission as a prophet, and to do what countless prophets before him had also done, to seal their testimony with their blood and their life. The last great sacrifice of a prophet testifying of their Lord and Savior. The mobs would show, violence would ensue, and Joseph and his brother Hiram would lose their lives in 1844. Brothers and sisters, Based LDS welcomes you to a journey of the prophet's life, to discover who he was, to learn more about the strength and power of his testimony, and in such more about our Savior, Jesus Christ, whom Joseph represented truthfully and faithfully all his days. We'll study the visions he had, his many teachings, including the lectures on faith in King Follett Discourse, and eventually we'll get to his martyrdom and death. Brothers and sisters, that we might all grow in faith, that we might understand the role and necessity of a prophet in our lives, and for that prophet to point us to Christ, is my intense prayer. Join us as we give praise to the man.